is in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives them a 1st and 10. The Ravens at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try to match his athleticism.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now Wilson on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A give to Williams, running right. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a comeback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one, because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length. because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Dobbins. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right? Because
Dobbins hit, and he fumbles.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. We're scoreless after 1. The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 15-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
4th down, here's Jackson. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Dobbins. No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. Dobbins once more. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Wilson will throw again. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okuwebunam. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Sliding out of the pocket. And that will be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Open man, that's Renfro. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Here's another first and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Here's Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there, as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point up and through. And the lead is now 10-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one will be down by a member of the kicking team at about the 40-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He's up to the 20. And they work this out past the 25. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
He's got some space. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
To throw again is Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. They find some open field here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll go down at the 28.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 63 yards.
They'll run with Dobbins.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Ravens have evened the ball game with a chance to take the lead here in the final minute of this 3rd quarter.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 40. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Broncos.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Throwing is Jackson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. A 4th down, they felt compelled to go for it, and he throws the INT.
Yeah, he knows that you can't take a sack there, so he had to try and force one in. Now, this might not be a throw he makes if we're in the 2nd quarter, but he had to take the chance there, and this one wound up being intercepted.
He's going to air one out, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th. Oh, wide open, complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 66 yards. And the Ravens use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Jackson here is going to look to throw. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Finding space at the 40. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Jackson. Dobbins on the slant route. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. To throw is Jackson. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. A bad time for a roughing penalty. And they get the gift of a 1st and 10. A give. Dobbins trying the right side. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. They go play action now. Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Touchdown! J.K. Dobbins, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. So that challenge, a successful one. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They'll try to run with Dobbins.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
taking it in from a yard out as his guys are able to extend their lead. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this off.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Jackson to throw. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed in intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Baltimore, they're on a nice early roll.